Let's go! Rapid fire recruiting video today. You better keep up because at the end of this video, I'm going to reward you with a 3-star gem whose tape I am in love with. So let's go ahead and start off here with this topic before we get into these prospects. I am not talking about quarterbacks today. We have done so much quarterback content, including an Arch Manning and Dante Moore comparison. You can watch that down below. We also did a pretty deep dive on Jaden Rashada. So much quarterback content. Of course, we want to focus on all the other positions, starting off here with Jordan Matthews, who just got an LSU offer. Shout out again to Preston Guy of Tiger Bait. He joined our channel this past Saturday, and he was actually at the 7-on-7 camps where Jordan Matthews actually got an offer from Brian Kelly. I like Kylan Jackson and Curly Reed as well. Curly Reed, of course, has had some injury problems over the past couple of seasons, but still, if LSU is able to land 2 out of these 3 defensive backs in a class where they already have 2 out-of-state defensive backs committed, and Michael Doherty, and actually it's 3, Dalen Austin as well. We did a video on him recently. So, yeah, LSU right now sitting pretty, but to me, you can never have enough defensive backs. And in just a second, we're going to get to another one that is super-duper special. So now I want to focus on linebacker. I like these 2 linebackers, not in love with either one of them. And honestly, if you were to look at the linebacker position, LSU probably needs to replenish the depth there as well. It depends on how you feel about Demario Tolan, Greg Penn, so on and so on. But for me, Jaden Osbury and Tackett Curtis are 2 very interesting prospects, both of which I could see go out of state. Tackett Curtis is very interesting. My evaluation of him is a little bit different than everyone else. I honestly think he is a future jack linebacker, even though for Manny, he kind of plays a roving safety position. In fact, he plays pretty much all over the field. But Tackett Curtis's recruitment has gotten better for LSU recently. But him and Jaden Osbury, we'll see what happens. Obviously, Jaden Osbury, his brother, went to Auburn last year, and we'll see if LSU is able to keep him in state. Of course, Khai is as close as you can get to LSU's campus. It is LSU's campus. But we'll see if they can keep both of these guys. So let's chat about 2 players that I think is only going to rise up boards. Prean, a wide receiver who just transferred to St. James. I think it's going to have a huge senior season. And Tyree Adams, a pretty massive offensive tackle prospect out of St. Aug. And as many of you know, St. Aug is just a pipeline of amazing college football talent. And a lot of LSU staff is St. Aug graduates. So I feel pretty good about LSU hammering home this Tyree Adams kid, and I hope that they're able to land him. And look, as far as Khai Prean is concerned, he's listed as an athlete. I do think he will play wide receiver at the next level. Wide receiver is a pretty gigantic position of need in this class after only getting 1 in the last cycle. So he's at St. James, as many of you know, the number one-ish wide receiver last year was a St. James player as well, Shaz Preston. He ended up going to Alabama. So obviously LSU is going to try their best to keep Khai Prean in state. Boom, I'm looking at you. Yes, you. Wake up! I need your help in the comment section. Let me know who you think is the absolute must-get player out of all these names. And once again, there's no such thing as a must-get recruit, but these 3 names to me are the 3 most important players that LSU probably needs to land. Well, once again, no such thing as a need, but they are high on the priority list. This is actually Will Campbell's teammate in high school, Zalance Heard, an offensive tackle who was just a massive athlete. He is really good on the defensive line as well, and we'll see. I feel pretty good about LSU getting Zalance Heard because of the Will Campbell connection, but man, this would be pretty phenomenal if LSU can get Heard or Adams, and it would be a pretty massive offensive line haul overall if you're able to get both of them. Now, this is my number 2 player, Derek Williams, a hard-hitting safety out of New Iberia. Obviously, Kayshawn out of New Iberia. It's going to be tough, though, because Corey Raymond is also out of New Iberia, and, of course, he went to Florida. Yeah, and also keep in mind the Danny Lewis kid, the tight end, who actually went to Alabama, who was from New Iberia in this past 2022 cycle. Feel pretty good about LSU gaining ground on Derek Williams, but as far as defensive backs are concerned, this guy to me is the best in the state of Louisiana. Now, you can see just with the recruiting rankings, I don't always agree with them. I'm not as high on Tackett Curtis as others, and I am super duper high on this next prospect, and I feel he is the best wide receiver prospect in the state of Louisiana in quite some time. Shelton Sampson Jr. And look, I say quite some time. Kayshawn, of course, if Shelton's that good, that would be pretty crazy. But I think Shelton Sampson is a Terrace Marshall clone. They're very similar players. Lanky, really good after the catch, smooth route runner, good hands catcher. I really just like Shelton Sampson Jr. a lot more than pretty much every player in the state of Louisiana. I do think he's special. So if I were to say who is the best player in this state, especially if you're not factoring in quarterbacks, I would say it's Shelton Sampson Jr., and he's also the highest rated non-quarterback in the state as well. So, I'm not the only one that feels this way. He's obviously out of Catholic High in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Last year, I felt the best player was also out of Catholic High in Emory Jones. So I feel when it comes to Louisiana, you factor in position of need, you factor in wide receiver and its importance, you see how important Shelton Sampson actually is to this class. So these are the 4 stars we didn't quite get to. Every name you saw so far was a 4-star player or better. These are the next highest rated players that we did not mention. Of course, we didn't talk about Trey Holly in this video because he's already committed. Omarion Miller just decommitted, and he's probably going to go to Nebraska. So we didn't talk about those 2 players, but these are 2 other 4 stars to keep an eye out for. And Asher Williams, I think, will eventually be a 4-star out of Zachary, Louisiana. Unbelievable length. And look, he is, your prototypical modern-day edge. Probably a Calevon Chason type of player. And then Marjavius Moss. I know you North Louisiana guys are really, really clamoring for this kid to be a part of LSU's class. They do have a lot of defensive backs already on their radar, but it would not shock me if for some reason, if some of these other players don't commit or decommit or whatever, he could be a part of this class. Now, I'm not too familiar with Marjavius. Maybe some of you can give me a little bit more insight. Now I'm going to give you a 3-star gem because on this channel we talk a lot about 3-star recruits and how important they are for the state of Louisiana. As you saw today, there aren't that many. There's a lot of 4-stars in this class. Now, a lot of these 4-stars aren't going to go. Obviously, we didn't talk about Eli Holstein, Ricky Collins, or Arch Manning. All 3 of them could very well not be a part of LSU's class next year. So it does open up some potential opportunity for some Louisiana 3-stars. And I'm going to give you one name here that I think could be a really, really special player at the next level. And there he is, Elijah Davis, a 3-star running back out of Reserve, Louisiana. And look, LSU already has Trey Holly. Caleb Jackson's also a very interesting running back. We didn't talk about him today. That was a 4-star I accidentally left out, so it's no disrespect to him. But still, Elijah Davis is someone that is very, very interesting to me. So 5'9", 215, so he's a tank, right? 215 is pretty heavy for a running back coming out of high school. And look, this is a sub 100 a sub 11 second 100-meter guy at that weight. It's really good. That means you are rolling with some real pace. And I really did like his tape. Now, he is committed to the UL Raging Cajuns. He also does have a Vanderbilt offer. So, look, I don't know. I don't know why he's not getting more offers. It was tough for me to find even his final stats. I know they've been an up and down program these past couple of seasons, but something that was really impressive to me was all the different types of runs he had on his tape. There were some wildcat, there was some counter, there were some handoffs out of shotgun. There was a lot that I liked about Elijah Davis. So will he be a part of this LSU class? I don't know. I don't think they're going to offer another running back, especially if they already have Trey Holly as a part of this class. But I do like Elijah Davis a lot, and I am really shocked he doesn't even have a 2-4 sports composite score yet. So, Yeah, it's very, very interesting. So, obviously, I want more information on all these players, all these names that you saw today. Some of you are more familiar of them than me. I'm just now getting into all their evaluations. So please comment down below. Let me know what you think. And obviously, this was a little bit more of a stripped down version of today's video. This is just an overview of LSU's current recruiting class. So, as of right now, of course, the Omarion Miller decommitted stunk, but we'll see. We'll see who they add to this class. And, of course, we just focused on the state of Louisiana. No out-of-state guys in this video, okay? It is Power Hour LSU Bang! And tonight, we're doing some carne asada. Let's